Okay, Dan. Here we go.
So here we go.
Elevator,
yep.
Tony?
This is from Mike Roggs. Since you guys have had some exposure with the pro wrestling world, I'd be curious on your opinions on which pro wrestlers you might that you think would do well in the octagon, like your top 5. Here's mine. He says, obviously Lesnar, Ming, Rude, Hawk, and Angle.
Yeah, those guys, all 5 of those guys would do it. Yeah. Ming, I think Ming would be the toughest. I hung out with him over there in Japan. He is the nicest guy, and when you hear the story about him biting off a guy's nose or gouging out another guy's eyeball, you can't imagine it coming from him because he's such a nice guy. And then for some stupid ass drunk to pick him out of a crowd to want to go, I mean, what a dumbass.
Well, like you said, stupid ass.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be the last person I'd want to tangle with, you know?
So like I said, those are his choices. Can you think of 5 on your own, or just any that besides those names? Besides Lesnar, Ming, Rude, Hawk, and Angle.
I like those 5 names.
Yeah, those are good names.
I think,
Well, you have 5 days, but I would have even thrown somebody in there like a potential like a Dr. Death Steve Williams, only because he was a professional wrestler, basically really known in his days of professional wrestling in Japan.
Yeah.
But he was, I remember when I was wrestling at Arizona State, he was at Arizona State. We were at Oklahoma. And here he is. He's the heavyweight. He's a football player. And so he doesn't really wrestle all the matches. So he, by the time the football season, Oklahoma being one of the playoff games or something like that, it might be a little bit later in the season that he finally starts up. But you could tell it was interesting being at a home match. And once they even announced him at that time, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. And as he went out there, his own home crowd is booing him, and he loved it. He was playing. He was a character way back then, and he just was blowing kisses to his crowd at that point in time, and he just loved. He loved playing the role of a heel. But he was pretty much a badass there as well. Right. I mean, it didn't really for show it. It did, I should say, showcase it, through that
the Brawl for All tournament.
That ridiculous the Brawl for All event that they tried to do, because it's kind of tough when you to hope for the right outcome in a real event, and that's kind of what happened, because anybody can get punched and or knocked out in an actual fight, because you just don't know how good you are. But I mean, I just know that Steve Williams had quite a career before then.
Well, he blew out his knee or something, right? A hamstring or something blew out.
Yeah, during that fight, I think in the process of him getting hurt, getting knocked out, and I think he tore his hamstring or something like that. So there's like a compounded type of injury and they ended up having. I think he ended up going back just to Japan and just finishing out his career really there before
the cancer got to him.
I mean, before the cancer got to him most, yes. So, but yeah, no, he definitely was quite the character. But I think he would have been one of those people, because he had the wrestling background, and he liked scrapping and mixing that up. I even think that Animal from Legion of Doom would have had some scrappy ability, because the football player.
You're thinking Mike. Mike was Hawk. Hawk was the tougher one.
Oh, okay.
Of those two.
Of the Legion of Doom? Okay.
Yeah, Hawk was the tougher one.
All right. We'll get that, because I always thought, I like their characters. Legion of Doom, they were like Kiss, with the football shoulder pads and spikes onto them, and the face paint and all that. That was pretty cool. They were kind of ahead of their time at the time.
Real good gimmick, yeah.
Yep.
But so who was... They had Murderers Row down there, right? They had the two Schultz brothers, and then they had Steve Williams. Was it the Scher brothers, or where were the Scher brothers out of?
Yeah, but the Scher brothers never did any professional wrestling.
I'm talking collegiate wrestling though.
For collegiate wrestling. Oh yeah, no, you're right, for Oklahoma. Yes.
Yeah, they had the Murderers Row.
Yeah. there was a lot of good wrestling. I mean, both Oklahoma schools and dominant teams at that during that time era. If you look at the dominant teams now, you're looking at Penn State is a very dominant. NCAA just took place. I think that I'm not certain if they end up winning or not. I did not really pay attention. Where I got no one in the race right now, so that's why I'm not paying as much attention to that. Just like the Olympic Games right now, I've seen a couple highlights of some of the matches that have taken place, and I get a kick out of the one Gable, a wrestler that just won the heavyweight weight class.
Oh yeah,
he got gold.
Yep. Yeah, but it was the last, like in the final couple seconds, he had to get the takedown to win the match. He had to come from behind. He was ahead, and then I think the Russian basically turned him through a couple times. He was behind and had to come from behind, and he did score in like the final 2 seconds.
So did you see that he sent out a tweet to Dana White saying, Dana, Gable, the gold medalist. He said,
I did not see that.
Yeah, he said to Hick, hey, Dana, I was saying hi pretty much. And then also they're talking about WWE as well. In your guys' opinion, what do you think he should do?
It depends on where the money's at and if he can take a punch.
Yeah, there's like Don said, there's those are two entirely different careers. I mean, they're both physically demanding, but a cage fighting career will be shorter than what a professional wrestling career could be. Now, if he's got, I know about him a little bit. I've never met him. I don't really know what kind of a true charisma he has, because in professional wrestling, if you really want to make it, you got to have some charisma, and you got to have some right people around you that are. There's a lot of people that will be around you blowing smoke up behind you. But there's other people that will keep you squared away. I hope if he does go that route, he's got some good people that will keep him squared away, so that he can have a good career, an injury-free career, and has the savvy to salt some money away for that rainy day, because a lot of athletes think that the money will keep coming in forever, and it won't. And does he have some money salted away just so that he can take care of them in bad times?
And get a prenup.
There you go.
Always get a prenup.
There's your daily advice from Don.
Yeah. Spoken from a guy who didn't have one. But we're looking at a guy who is smart enough to have one. Right, Mr. Severn?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About the size of the Bible.
All right, let's see. From Henry Vaughn asks, I would like to know how pro wrestling differs from MMA in terms of your physical toll and training.
I'll jump in there first. I mean, there's still going to be physical training in terms of having strength. Professional wrestling, you need strength because you're handling another man body weight. So in order to pick up people, bodily slam things, now granted they're working with you and that, but still accidents do happen. So you definitely want to keep physical type training, but then you also need cardiovascular, because matches could be 15, 20 minutes long. Or I mean, it's you don't see too many of them where they'll do these
hour-long Broadway.
An hour-long Broadway. I mean, that's something that you'd only ever see maybe on an independent scene, and even then, I don't know of any that have happened anytime recently. So, but a long match might be 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Now, but you think about that's constantly moving, constantly doing something. So, cardiovascular and weight training, it definitely is a must. And the biggest thing when it comes to professional wrestling is safety is one thing that I really preach right there. the same thing pertains now to MMA. You need that strength, but you need the endurance to go along with it. You know that you got to know that I can't just throw one punch. I have to know that it's going to be either 3 5-minute rounds, or I might be in there for 5 5-minute rounds. So I'm a big advocate that you should train with the clock in mind, knowing that you can go 15 minutes, no problem, and not even take out that 1 minute break in between. You should just be able to just go through 15 minutes and then take a break, and then maybe do rounds in segments like that. But you got to do it in a lot of different ways, because you're not just simply just throwing punches. You're lifting, you're pushing against. It's like isometric versus lifting versus pulling versus pushing. There's all kinds of things that kind of come to play. At least that's my 2 cents are worth. Frye, do you have anything that you'd like to add to it, or did I cover most of it?
No, you didn't cover anything at all, actually. No. The main difference between pro wrestling and fighting is pro wrestling is appearance. It's what you look like you can
look like
do.
You're capable of doing.
Yeah, versus in fighting, you may look like Josh Barnett, but be able to fight like Josh Barnett, whereas you in pro wrestling, you want to look like Kevin Randleman, even if you can't fight like Kevin Randleman, you can fight like the ice cream guy down the street, but you look like Kevin Randleman, so you look like you can kill people. Whereas, in the fight game, it doesn't matter what you look like; it matters what you can do.
Well said, Mr. Frye. Well said.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So then,
what do you got next for us?
So just another part of that question would go on to so just what is your just in general, what do you think of pro wrestling today?
You know what? Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch pro wrestling since I got out of it. So I don't know, because I've had a lot of recurring injuries that I've been dealing with. I mean, so.
Well, what did you?
My only thing that I can really say about it is the fact that, I never really watched the product that much, just because of just being so busy with life. I would watch a token match maybe here or a token match there. And that's about it, really. That would be even more involving the MMA or NHB worlds, and not as often as watching professional wrestling. I would watch more professional wrestling only if I was on a card, whether they're just doing appearance or autograph signing. I'm watching the show, and I always have a piece of paper and pencil beside there, and I'm actually making notes. What I like about the match, what I don't like about the match, and literally, I've even had other guys say, "Can you kind of watch our match and give me a little critique?" And I will actually do that.
Do they take your advice, or they tell you to go pound it with a handful of sand?
Well, no, I'm usually, I'll deliver it somewhat kind, but at the same token, I'm honest, and sometimes honesty is not always
not appreciated.
The best policy.
Yeah. Not appreciated as it once was, is it?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. So we had a podcast a while ago. You guys were talking about actors and stuntmen, acting like they can fight or this and that, and how they would do in MMA. So since then, we had quite a few responses from that episode that we did, where people are saying you guys are completely wrong about Segal, about Chuck Norris, because you guys mentioned them, and also Bruce Lee. So here's one of the questions. It says,
"I don't remember hammering on Norris."
Well, you didn't hammer. The one you only really made fun of was Segal. Yeah, but the other guys, it was with the Shamrock episode. There's you guys, all three of you were talking about how pretty much you said that if Bruce Lee got in the ring with you, you guys would. You didn't stand a chance, pretty much. Which I agree with.
We outweigh him by 100 pounds.
Exactly, and that's what you guys said in the show, right? But people are saying that pretty much Bruce Lee would kick your guy.
Okay, these are people who've never been in a fight in their fucking life, and they're saying that somebody who weighs 70 or 100 pounds less than us can beat us.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Again, I'll jump right in there to chime in with Mr. Frye there as well. Size does make a difference. I mean, you can be, the most incredible athletic type of an individual, but if you're giving up a couple 100 pounds to someone who's a big old behemoth, he might woof, miss you here.
Who knows how to fight?
The moment that he finally thumps you or something like that, right. Match is gonna be over pretty quick. So
I mean to fight somebody who's 100 pounds bigger than you that doesn't know how to fight, yes, you whoop him. But somebody who does know how to fight, say on the same skill level as Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris, but they're 100 pounds heavier, yeah, they're gonna eat you, man.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, don't I gotta say I enjoyed watching Chuck Norris and a lot of his movies. I enjoyed watching Bruce Lee in his movies and stuff like that. I mean, it was, but I would say that a movie career is one aspect, an athletic career is another aspect. To me, I get not to really digress here even more, but there's a lot of people I have met that they have these self-proclaimed that they are like a 10th degree black belt in a discipline that they made up.
Yeah, that goes back. That goes back to the characters we met. The first or second question. What characters did you run into? Yeah, these are idiots who have made up their own bullshit.
Yeah, and they have to be the only 10th degree black belt. I mean, to me, it's like going, well, who promoted you? You're really the reality is when people talk about they're a 2nd degree black belt, 3rd degree black belt. To me, it boils down to who promoted you, because if it's somebody of character or if it's someone of credentials, it will mean something. But if it's just Joe Blow over here at the XYZ big dojo who for $595, I'll simply give you your next rank. You've got all kinds of big dojos like that, that all they care about is, did you pay me? Sure, I'll promote you, and here's your next belt. Also, that belt cost you $10.95 as well.
Right.
Here, I'll read one of the comments we got from one of the people.
Please do.
It says, you guys are 1,000% wrong about Chuck Norris. Chuck trained and learned judo with Gene LeBell and became a black belt in judo. Has won multiple kickboxing tournaments and karate tournaments. He holds more belts and fighting styles than all of you combined. Chuck and Bruce are 100% legit.
We never said that those two were not.
No, you never did.
Those two, we appreciate, and we have agreed that they are real, martial artists.
If they fought maybe in their own weight class,
right,
it would be a different story. But if they tried to step in the ring with yourself, with Don, the Predator, the Beast, or the world's most dangerous man.
But it's still, you're talking, Chuck Norris was a point fighter, and he learned judo from Gene LeBell. Did he have one black belt or 2 black belts?
I don't know.
Okay, see, what rank was his black belt if he had a black belt from Gene? What was, like Dan said, who did you get it from, and what rank? Because there's 9 different levels of black belts, Yeah,
I mean, Gene LeBell is a phenomenal instructor, a phenomenal individual. So
he's a real judoka.
And he was involved in he was the referee between the legendary match between Muhammad Ali and
Antonio Inoki.
Yeah, Antonio Inoki. So again, he'd been around the sport forever, and I think even at that point in time, he was probably who knows how many decades into his career. So
right,
he's got a lot of legit background to him. He has several books that he's put out, and I would to me to hear from him per se, I would take a lot more credence. He definitely might be one of the people that we might want to reach out to as well. Another one of the people we might want to reach out, because he's definitely a known Hollywood celebrity. I mean, he's been in lots of different movies. Just a lot of people may or may not have noticed him because he plays lots of really kind of off the wall type of characters.
Right. Well, he was the muscle for his parents' pro wrestling league over there, in Southern California. He was the shooter that kept everybody in line.
Ah, there you go. I like him even more now.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy. I've always enjoyed. I mean, every December he sends out kind of a Christmas card patch.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's funny too. He's got a joke
No,
for
he
every
is.
occasion.
He's great sense of humor. Really good sense of humor.
Well,
what do you got next here, Tony?
So on that note, since we're talking about the wonderful actors, let's go. What are your favorite martial arts movies?
Favorite martial arts movie?
Yep.
I'm coming up with a blanket right now. I mean, I don't want to simply just say. I mean, did I watch the Karate Kid? Sure, I watched the Karate Kid. But is that my favorite? Don't know right now. It's you got the classic line from that movie is "sweep the leg." But that's
put him in a body bag.
That's from the heels. That's from the heels right there. Say that, sweep the leg, put him in that body bag. I don't know what to say on that one right now. It's
like no Bruce Lee. You ever watch Bruce Lee movies or a Jackie Chan flick?
Well, I watch Jackie Chan flicks. I actually get a kick out of Jackie Chan. I like his movies. I like his sense of humor.
Oh, shit.
So, but I really don't have. I don't think I ever would have watched any of the Enter the Dragon movies or anything of that nature. So I really can't. I don't have a comment that I really can make about them. So. Unless Mr. Frye has anything to say there about the Bruce Lee movies, if he watched any of them, or if he's got any Jackie Chan movies that he watched. I mean, I think we're just going to move on to the next question. We're not here to actually to offend anyone. We just if we're a little limited on some of our knowledge because we didn't watch certain movies or that, we just that's just our prerogative,
Well, we all know Don's favorite martial art movies are any Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah. I like the one with Gary Busey,
Oh, where that girl jumps out of the cake?
Yeah. I like that one. Was it Tommy Lee Jones or Gary Busey? I mean,
Tommy Lee Jones.
The thing is, you surround yourself with actors that looks like you can act. I mean, they carry the movie and you do your karate shit.
There you go. Good enough. I think we nailed that question. We nailed it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good job.
Yeah, if you want to
way to pull our bacon out of the fire there, Mr. Frye.
If you want to look like you're an actor, but you have, you're a fighter and you want to look like you're an actor, get actors to surround.